All right, well, first up this morning, we are in the kitchen for an experience that's more than just cooking. For Andrea Pons, it's all about family and keeping them together. Food stylist and immigration rights advocate turned cookbook author. Mamacita is Andrea's debut cookbook, and she's here to share. Mucho gusto, Andrea.
Hola, buenos días. ¿Cómo estás?
Está bien, ¿y ustedes?
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
I am thrilled to have you here. Everything smells good already. What are we cooking today, by the way?
Okay, so I'm making my childhood favorite, which is enfrijoladas. I think a lot of people are familiar with enchiladas, but I haven't seen one single Mexican restaurant, at least here in Seattle, that serves enfrijoladas.
Enfrijoladas is bean enchiladas, basically, with bean sauce?
Exactly, yeah. And it's really one of my favorites just because it's so versatile. So I'm making a vegetarian option today. If you're vegan, you can switch the crema and the cheese for vegan crema and cheese. And if you like a little bit more substance, you can add shredded chicken to the inside of the enchiladas. So it's really
so you can make
flexible.
it anything you want.
Yeah.
I want to talk about, we're going to get to this, but I really quickly want to touch on the book, Mamacita, because when you told me the story, it gave me the chills. You had started collecting your grandmother's recipes as a way to keep the family traditions alive because she has Alzheimer's. But
that's right.
There was another reason that you wanted to make sure you got this book out there and in stores. Tell us why.
100%. So, long story short, my family has actually, today is our 17th anniversary since we migrated to the United States. It's also my dad's birthday, which to me is really special that he chose to do that on his birthday. But I started the cookbook, like you said. My grandma has Alzheimer's. I grew up super close to her. This is actually one of her recipes. And with her Alzheimer's, I didn't want to lose those memories. I didn't want to lose the food that I grew up eating. Fast forward to 2020, I receive a letter of deportation after having spent 4 years, even more, applying for my immigration. By that point, I had been in the country for 16 years, so it was really scary that that could happen to me, and I thought if I could get deported, then my family could also. So, long story short, I spent my entire life savings, which was 10 grand at the time, hiring an immigration attorney to help me save my life here. A few months later, I was in the USCIS offices, which is the immigration offices, applying for my citizenship, taking my citizenship test. And that same day in the parking lot, I knew that I was going to be the gate for my parents to also gain status, which up until that point, my parents had to make the really difficult choice of choosing to either stay together as a family in the United States with my sister and I, or leave, go to Mexico, see their dying mothers.
Because if they left, they would not be able to come back.
Exactly. So they had to choose between their own mothers or their daughters, which was really hard and really difficult. So that same day, sitting in the parking lot, after getting my citizenship, I knew I had to do something to help raise funds for my parents' immigration, which was going to be another 20 grand. And immediately I know, I'm like, I have to put this cookbook out. This is no longer going to be...
This is what you can do to help raise money for them.
Exactly. It went from being a passion project to being my purpose.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Not crying right now.
I know, I'm like,
but you're killing me. I'm
It's the onion. It's the onion. We can blame it. We can blame it here.
Not crying. You're crying.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm so glad that you have been able to create this. Can you just give us an update what's going on with your parents right now?
Yes. Okay. So now we might actually start crying. So I self-published the cookbook last year. I was able to sell 500 copies on my own before a publisher approached me, the Priest and Architectural Press, which is who I am published with now. Because of them and because of my community and all the support that we received last year, I was able to start paying an attorney to help my parents process. And I'm shaking now, but my mom was able to be reunited with my grandma for the first time in 16 years. This Mother's Day. Which is still blows me away when I talk about it. And my sister has now been able to go to Mexico too. She went with my mom this year, got reunited with my grandmother. I had the opportunity to go last year, and the last one to go is my dad. Happy birthday, Dad. He'll get to go next month and see his mom for the first time in 17 years. So, yeah.
There's your beautiful grandma.
Yeah, that was my grandma the last time. Last time I saw her here in the United States, I was 16 at the time. Yeah. And I got to see her last year. This is us reunited
for
the first time. And, you know, she can't really open her eyes. She can't really talk, but I I know she's there. I know she's really proud. And
Yes, she is.
she's living with me through this recipe. So
I love it. Okay. All right. Well, I just had to ask you all about that.
Yes.
We have about 3 minutes left to make this.
Yes,
But I
that's
think we can
perfect.
do it because you started with okay. So we've got onions.
Yes. I'll walk people quickly through it. So
Okay.
right here, we started sauteing 1 small onion and 2 serrano peppers.
Okay.
I added 2 minced garlic cloves, and then I just added a half a teaspoon of smoked paprika and a half a teaspoon of cumin.
Okay.
So this is your base for the salsa. The serrano peppers, I keep the seeds in because I like a little kick. This isn't
Okay.
too spicy. You're just gonna feel it after the bite. It's like an after.
Oh, I like it.
After
Okay.
spice. Once you've sauteed this for a few minutes, I've been sauteing for about 5 behind
Okay.
the scenes. We're gonna add about 3 cups of black beans. And
3 cups. Okay.
Yeah, and they're broth. So these are canned.
So don't even. So I can use canned.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Because I'm not
canned black
making my own beans.
Not clammed. Whoops. Canned black beans in their broth. It's about 2 cups. I mean,
Okay.
it's 3 cups, but about 2 cans.
Okay.
You're gonna add that to your skillet. You're gonna turn up the heat just a little bit to bring it up to a simmer, and then you're gonna add 2 cups of chicken stock. So I have my
Okay.
chicken stock ready.
Okay.
We're adding that here.
And again, you said that if you wanted to make this vegan or vegetarian or anything, you can definitely alter it. I like that aspect because everything is
Yes.
simple. And I
Yes.
feel like, aside from the peppers, I think I have everything here in my cupboard at home.
Yes.
So that's
Yeah.
nice.
It's really easy to make. You can also remove the peppers if you don't want it spicy at all. When I used to eat it as a little kid, my mom would only use the dried peppers. So right here, this also goes into the sauce, but it
Okay.
gets blended later.
In the blender.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have 2 guajillo chiles and 1 ancho. So these come dry.
Okay.
You're gonna boil these in 2 cups of water until they puff up. It's about 7 or 8 minutes.
Okay.
These get added to your blender. Once this is ready, this gets also added to the blender. And
Okay.
what you end up with is this sauce right here.
Is
So-
this beautiful sauce
Yes,
right
so
here?
I actually have it ready.
Okay.
And right here, you're gonna add a little bit of oil. You can tell there's some oil on the side.
Okay.
That's so the tortillas don't stick, and so the sauce doesn't burn.
Oh, okay, so we're
Yeah.
going to put these tortillas in here.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to take, and it's
Yes,
hard to
and
work
let
with.
it really soak.
Let it
in
really
there.
soak.
Yeah.
Okay. And corn tortillas, it's always hard to work with them.
Yeah.
So it's nice to get them nice and
Yes.
juicy.
Another tip that I like to do too for those folks at home is I actually like to heat up the tortillas ahead of time.
That's
in
probably
another
a good
skillet.
idea.
You want to make sure that they don't get super rough. Like you're just making sure that they're flexible.
Yeah.
Exactly what you're talking about. Corn tortillas can sometimes kind of break, so you just want it to be flexible. So we can
Okay.
leave that there simmering for a few seconds more. Yeah,
Okay.
that's looking really good.
Okay.
And then, see, you
Oops.
can tell it's cracking, and that's because they're not warm yet. So I
Okay.
do suggest heating them up. Yeah,
Uh-oh.
this one.
We lost it.
This will happen. This will happen
This
a
is
lot.
okay.
That's okay. We can put it on this
Okay.
plate for
I'm
now.
still going to eat it.
Yes.
All right. We don't have much time left, but once we get these nice and
Yeah.
juicy
We'll just leave it there for a
okay,
second.
just leave it alone.
Yeah.
Just leave it alone, Adrisi.
No, it's all good. So once these are ready, what you're going to do is you're going to take your tortilla, put it on a plate. We have some shredded queso fresco here. It's crumbled. It usually comes like this when you buy it.
Okay. Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
so you crumble it up.
You just crumble it with your hands. We're going to fill up the tortilla with the queso fresco. You roll it up,
And
then you add crema. I have
Okay.
it here already. You can also do sour cream at home if you can't find Mexican crema. Just
Okay.
add a little bit of water. I like these little bottles.
okay,
Yes.
I'm going to try this
Please
real
try it.
quick.
I want to hear what you think
Ooh.
about the kick at the end.
Totally got me. It does. It has a kick at the
It
end.
comes at the end. So if you want it less spicy, you can open up your serranos and remove the seeds.
And get rid of the seeds.
Yeah. Also,
It's okay.
The shredded lettuce adds that
that'll
little
help cut-
freshness.
it'll help cut the-
And the crema helps
Okay.
cut the spiciness.
I have to say, we're about out of time,
Yeah.
but I have to try. May I try this is your grandmother's
Yes.
orange.
Bun cake. So my grandma lost my grandpa at the age of 40, and she started a bakery called La Española when my mom was 10 years old, which is the same age I was when we migrated. And I have a knife right here.
Oh, perfect.
I'll
Okay.
cut you up a slice.
Yes.
And this was my grandma's most popular cake. She used to sell it. My uncles used to deliver it to local bakeries, and she would sell out by the end of each day.
I love it. Okay, let me give this a try. This looks beautiful. This is
Really
my favorite.
recommend eating it with little coffee in the morning. Definitely will cut the spice.
That is amazing. And it's not too sweet. It is perfect with coffee.
Yes, and that recipe is also in the book. It's my grandma's legend, and I needed to have it in there.
Andrea, thank you so much for sharing your story. Oh my gosh, and congratulations on your book.
Thank you.
So beautiful. She is sharing her recipe with us. You can go to our website, or if you can't wait and you're going to make this night, you're off to the grocery store, just text the word recipe, just the word recipe, no quotes, no nothing, just the letters recipe to 206-448-4545, and we'll text you the recipe right to your phone.
Muchas gracias. Gracias. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
All right.